H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And today is Wednesday. God, the week is going by so fast. They said time go fast when you're having fun. But shout out, it's Women Rock Wednesday. I'm gonna wait on the women to get here today, fellas. I see you. Shout out to the fellas that's on here already. Let's share the show and make sure the women get on here. I don't know where they at. They doing their hair, they doing their nails. We can't see y'all. Y'all don't have to be on there. Y'all don't have to do all of that. Hey man, let me tell you some things about electronics, boy. I man, you just got to have a spare. Y'all, if I didn't have a spare of a device, I would have been in trouble today. Gotta have a spare. Now I got to go get a backup to that backup. Now I got to go buy something. Man, boy, this. When you're on the road, shit, I could have been at home and that could have happened. But just you got all of this, you got all this equipment, but this one little device can stop you from starting the show. Like the charger on your computer. I mean, when the battery go out, the show go out. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I can't wait. Share the show, everybody. Share the show before I start. It just ain't enough for y'all on here for me to even get to talking. This information too valuable. So what I will do is, oh, there it is. There it is. I can hold on. Let me get some stuff on. Yeah. I didn't want to. I got some good stuff for y'all today too. Gosh. Oh, I got some good stuff for y'all today. Barry, I got good stuff. Y'all share the show. I don't feel you sharing it. I don't feel no share. I know I share it because I share it. I got a habit of sharing it when I get on the show. I share it for everybody. Let me see where my people at, man. Hold on. Let me see where all my people's at. I ain't gonna rush it. I ain't gonna rush it. I think my grandson in there trying to call me. I think he in there trying to call me. I don't know what he doing. He in there trying to talk to me. Oh, I see some more people on here that ain't showing up on the feed. Okay. All right. All right. I'll see y'all, but I can't, I gotta have a woman on there. I can't have no Women Rock Win without a woman. Fellas, we just gonna sit here. And fellas, what y'all want to talk about? We'll talk about something with y'all. What y'all want to talk about, guys? Give me some. Give me some. Give me some. Give me an interesting topic. Give me an interesting topic, somebody. I'm trying to see something. Okay. Somebody give me some. Barry, you ain't got nothing? Hot off the press? Ricky Scott, I see you watching. You ain't said nothing, that's why you didn't pop up on my screen. But I see you watching. Ricky Scott, you got something? Wow, thank you. Thank you. Janae is in the building. Let's go. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. I like to have 5 women, but Janae adds up to about 6 women. So we really cool. But y'all got some interesting topics that y'all got to understand. I don't like to start the show because a lot of these topics I want to hear from a woman's point of view. Ain't no black Trump supporters on this show, baby girl. I think we done weed them out. I know a couple of them, they ain't on the show today. They ain't on the show today. We weed them out. We weed them out. We with her. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Y'all, I got so much good stuff and so much goodness. Where my women at? Goods Unite Us, GUU. Somebody sent me the app the other day. I haven't had a chance to look it up, but I'm gonna take a look at it. I saw that, Rob. I had a chance to look it up. Yet I got to check on it first. I got to check on it first. Ricky Scott, where you been, man? Jay Jackson, I see you. Jay Jackson, why don't y'all bring no? Yeah, you know, I'm like them dudes when we used to be in school. Man, why don't y'all always coming to the parties, want to hang with us? Why don't y'all bring no women with y'all, man? Y'all try to come in here and get all the women, man. You bring some women with you this time. Okay, I see. Okay. One of my favorites, she on here. She ain't popped up on the screen. So Kim is in the building. Okay, these three women I got on the building now, they make up 100 women. So they that cold. So I'm good. But fellas, you gotta bring somebody with you, man. Darius said good game last night between the Celtics and Cleveland. Yes. Good game. What you see? You know what you see? Tell me why you thought it was good. Because you know I got something. I got something to talk about. Who else? Kim, I got you. Kim, I got you. I got you. Have you heard about the Black 2025 project? Yes, I've heard about. I don't know which one you talking about. Because who is the author? Before I say that. See, what you don't understand, Janae, I'm trying to build a community that we're going to make our own project. I want to know what y'all want. Forget what telling people what. See, the heritage, y'all got to realize now, Project 2025, 40 and 50 years worth of work. The Federalist Society, the Heritage Society. It took a long time. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I got that. She been talking about the same stuff, Janae. I know you hadn't been watching. Everything she talked about, I've been talking on this show for 7 years. So it wasn't new to me. We just didn't name it. But we've been trying to put that in place for 7 years. And I'm gonna share that with y'all. I'm glad you brought it up. But y'all got to realize this ain't no game that somebody threw out there. This is a thing has been studied and tried and true that Ronald Reagan put into place first, and they used, Janae, I don't know if you knew about, they used 60% of the policies that they used back then. It was the Federalist Society that they used. He put those policies in place. So this, we behind. Of course I want an Amazon for us. I think, I got a question. Janae, I'm going to tell you how much I thought about Jeff Bezos. Robert Hatter is probably the only person on this feed that doesn't have an Amazon account. Robert Hatter, me, putting my credit card on Amazon Prime. I've never, ever ordered Amazon Prime. Never. But we do need one. Jay said, Jay, you a day late. She said, my coworker, Tanae Fierce Broomfield, was on yesterday. Her boy is at Legacy School. At Legacy, so nice, she had to play it twice. Her boy is at Legacy School. So nice, she had to play it. I don't understand what you're talking about. Jay, I don't understand, man. I don't understand. He said, we have the black page. Let me, you know what? I had this information, and since Janae, let me find the information. I took notes, Janae. Where did I put it? Glad she said that. Janae, you are Amazing. The young lady she talking about, she was on TikTok. And thank you, Janae. That's Women Rock Wednesday. Y'all got to know, when a woman say something on this feed, I got to talk about it. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. I had some sports for you, but always remember, y'all's comments, when you make a comment, that supersedes anything that I had. All right. So I got to talk about what Cleveland and the Celtics, we're gonna talk about that. So she said, what if we had a Black Project 2025? See, first thing I would do, I would take, she played the Chop Shop feed twice. Okay. All right. Okay. What's her son's name, by the way? But it's unique, y'all. The the regular Project 2025. Don't just think. I just want y'all to get this in your mind. It was not just something that was thought about in this election cycle. They bring this stuff up the Heritage Foundation, the Federalist Society, they bring this stuff up every election cycle, hoping that it catch fire. Started back there in Ronald Reagan's days. In 81, I think. Back in 81. I gave y'all this one day. Got to go back and get an old show. I taught it. I taught this. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Just one second. I didn't stretch this morning. And I'm sitting in this chair. And I forgot, I didn't get my stretch in this morning. I got to make sure I'm loose. But she was talking about, thank you, Janae. She said, hear me out. I know sounds crazy, but this is division. Okay? She said, what if all of us were to get in a group? I'm talking about doctors, lawyers, engineers, and there are so many of us that are so talented. Y'all, these is her words now. But if you've been watching the Chop Shop long enough, you'll know that I've been talking about this all the time. But let's keep going. Engineers, there's so many of us that's talented. And if we were to work together with our own Black agenda for 2025. All right? She said, I'm talking about open up a Black grocery store in certain cities, Black-owned banks, so that you can actually go there and actually get a home loan and whatever you need to get done. Okay? Have our own a doctor's office, our own law practices, and we could congregate and push toward our goals and our outcomes. Okay, so young lady, she said, this is how I envision it. We could all, y'all got to understand, I've been had this information. I just ain't shared it with you because we've been talking about this all the time, Janae. I know you're new to the show, but I like, bring your expertise to this. What else she said? She said, she said, this is how I envision it. She said, we can all get in this group. That is moody. Listen to the Black 2020. This ain't hold up. This is a vision that we've been talking about on the Chop Shop all the time. I just can't get y'all together. But hopefully, if y'all hear from somebody else, I'm just giving you her words. She said, we can all donate what we can and donate it on a monthly basis. And basically, we have a CEO. We can have a CMO, if you don't know, Chief Marketing Officer, and we have a CFO. All right? That's in charge of leading the group with these initiatives. Okay? Y'all got me? You went there, Janae. I'm finna take you somewhere now, Janae. Janae, you done messed up the whole show in a good way. They said we could have a bi-weekly, a monthly calls in regards to where we stand on our goals. We want a Black-owned grocery store, let's say in Los Angeles, built and developed by August and 25. We can get this done, y'all. I'm telling you, we can get this done on people on the Chop Shop. This is where we stand. We can do it in Houston. And the reason I'm gonna stop there and put a footnote at the grocery store. Jimmy, some people that some friends of mine, They live in this neighborhood off Scott and Scott and Yellowstone, and I forgot what you call that area. I know it, but I just don't know it. Off the is blanking with me. But I go down with it, Yellowstone, and I saw where this little grocery store had burned down. Chinese owned it now. It wasn't black owned. 4 or 5 years later, it's still over there on its foundation. It got burned to the ground. Nobody has put one there. So it's a food desert right there. You just made me think about it, Janae. See, Janae, you got my wheels to thinking now. You got my wheels to thinking. And I just, I passed by there and kept passing. And every time I pass by there, I wonder why ain't nobody built nothing there. I know it's not a good neighborhood, not a good I already know it ain't. You get off on Cullen, I'll get off on Cullen, like going toward the ship shop, I make a left, then I go up the Yellowstone, make a right. It's right there on the left. But I said, why do these people go to the grocery store? They had to go all the way up, damn near the third ward. So when I saw this, when the young lady said that, she said, this is where we stand. This is how much we have funded. We got the CEO and everybody telling us that. This is what is needed. This is where we are in the process. And on top of that, in this group, we have a massive directory of Black-owned businesses. So that means that everyone that joins the group swears off of purchasing from large corporations. She said, take Black-owned coffee brands, clothing, everything that you can think of, toiletries and body wash. When I think about the deodorant and the body wash and the soap that I use every day, and none of y'all own it, but let me keep going. Body wash, everything that we use on a daily basis, we don't own. Happy Women Rock Wednesday. Thank you, Gemma. I want y'all to just think now. Just think. It is no longer in this group. You're no longer purchasing these things from the large corporations, right? You purchase it from one another. Y'all follow me? Can you imagine what we could create? So much wealth amongst ourselves. One of us can be Procter and Gamble. It can be Billingsley and Holcomb, Green and Johnson, Boatwright and Moody, Anderson and Jackson, Barnes and Jackson, Haggerty and Roy. Y'all got to hear me. Scott and Young, Boone and McDonald, Wheatfall and Holcomb. Y'all listening to me? Just by strictly swearing off of the support of the large corporations. Listen to this. And only supporting one another. And also congregating to create our own agenda. I know the young lady said that we have been struggling as a community to trust one another. I know. I know. I don't care about that right now. That's what the young lady said. She said, I just personally thought if we were able to put our pride aside and get it done. That is mood I know you in, baby. But I need about 1,000 that is Moody's. I need about 1,000 Janae Johnson. Need about 1,000 of y'all. We got to duplicate ourselves, y'all. We can't keep this goodness just to ourselves. Then the young lady said, I'm almost finished. She said, you're able to put your pride aside and get it done. It could be one of the most important things in Black history. maybe there's a silver lining in Kamala Harris not getting into office. Because as a community, we just became that much more tight-knit, I hope. We still got some people on this feed sometimes that they just ain't got it yet. She said, might sounds crazy, but it's something that we should do. The ability for us to transform our community and perceptions of the Black community. She said, let's think of a store. And she just made me think, Reginald Simpson. When I passed by, Janae, when I passed by that store, I mean, the store is in my mind right now. I'm picturing it. Store in my mind right now. I was going to take y'all somewhere else. And I lost the train of thought. Boy, it was going to be powerful too. This is why I say you need to share the show. The strength in numbers. Strength. The power that all of us have. If we walk into a bank and say, we're going to make all of these deposits in your bank. You ain't got to have millions of dollars, but us as a group, then we determine how our money moves. Man, I wish y'all could hear me. All we got to do, all of us say, look, at one time, remember, when I be giving y'all these stories and people advertising on this show, I don't like the way y'all just trinkle. One person go here, one person go. Instead of getting a group together, 40 or 50 of us, and go and buy the damn bar out, go buy the store out, go buy the restaurant out, go buy the... We got to start thinking like that, y'all. Hey, Alicia, I'm going to show you how it works. I'm out here in LA, got a group of golfers that I play with. About 40 of them. Do you know one day they all came to my daughter's food truck at the same time? They intentionally said, we don't want nothing free. We know you play golf with us. We gonna all buy everything. We finna make them got to go re-up. That's the power. That's an immediate impact in the Black community. Yeah, I just don't feel nobody hearing me right now. I just don't feel it. And I got to go through my stuff because I'm trying to think of, because I got something. I got a story. Have a segment, drop a link Friday where you highlight business. We ain't not on Friday, but I guess you can drop a link. Drop a link. Let me put that on. Let me take a picture of that. Drop a link Friday. Okay. Okay. A woman. That's why I have Women Rock Wins. Janae, I don't know if I told you this. Janae, I was at the radio station. We was at the radio station. And they came to us and gonna tell us, hey man, y'all got to change that Women Rock Wins because it's your lowest rated show. The women don't support the show. Y'all got to change. Guess what I said to them? I'm not changing nothing. I'm gonna change you. I changed radio stations. And then when the radio stations, when I found those people obsolete, we went to social media because we can reach around the world. If we was on a local radio station right now in Houston, Janae in LA couldn't be on the show. It's not a local show. We got a lady on here coming more than y'all, and she live in LA. Just so you know, just in case you didn't know. But I'm sitting here trying to see, I'm watching things. I'm just watching how this world is working. I see a headline because I see a headline and I want to share this with you, but I saw this and I think this Jay-Z and Warden. You don't know, Warden School of Business in Pennsylvania at the University of Pennsylvania, one of the top business schools in the world. One of the reasons why a lot of people would go when you say I'm going to Warden, that's the business programs, top business program. Jay-Z and Warden partners for HBCU financial literacy initiative. Them some hell of a words for me. Financial literacy initiative. Okay, it's called Champions of Financial Literacy. Invites HBCU students to enhance their financial literacy knowledge through real world applications. For decades, Jay-Z has championed rags to riches lifestyles in his rhymes, right? Now, through the Sean Carter Foundation, co-founded by his mother, Gloria Carter, the rapper and the Rock Nation's founder, wants to pass his wealth of knowledge to HBCU students. I don't know if y'all know about this. With the support, watch this, Gemma. With the support of Toyota North America, the foundation has partnered with the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania Coalition for Equity and Opportunity to develop the champions for financial literacy. So that's what's that? CFL. The initiative draws its curriculum from Wharton School, Bridges to Wealth, a program encouraging generational wealth among underserved communities. These people know they've been underserving us. We don't have a grocery store in this neighborhood, I'm telling you. But it ain't up to them. We need to do it ourselves. Thank you, Jay-Z. According to SCF, that's what we're gonna call it. No, SCF, champions of financial literacy will follow real-world applications and service learning components, allowing students to apply from financial knowledge in community settings. Watch this, thereby expanding the ecosystem of wealth building and fostering local development and looking to reduce the wealth gap. The CFFL students receive financial knowledge and skills to boost their chances for economic success and social mobility. The initiative will be an opportunity for those looking to explore budgeting, market risk, returns, stock markets, and curriculum topics. The initiative debuts in the spring. Y'all, I told y'all some things we need to do in the spring. This initiative debuts in the spring at Missouri's Lincoln University, Virginia's Norfolk State University, and Virginia State University before expanding to other HBCUs. Complementary professional development training will be offered to university appointed faculty so the faculty can come and learn from each institution while trained students ambassadors will promote the CFFL to encourage its campus enrollments. Oh my God. Y'all, this player, I ain't never seen this happen. Y'all got to understand what Wharton School of Business is first before y'all, let's get there. Let's get there too. At that point, some point, I didn't know how important it was. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you some game. They said we're excited to partner with Sean Carter, uh, um, Monica Womack. You know she a sister. The general manager of diversity and inclusion and community engagement at Toyota. Toyota, y'all, is one of the companies that told these people, you can sue me if you want to. I'm gonna keep my inclusion, and equity program at Toyota. We're a Japanese company. We don't play that stuff y'all talking about over there in America. But watch this. Watch this. Check this out. She said, this is one that not only provides resources to HBCU students, but it also reaches the heart of the community through the advocacy of financial literacy. Gloria Carter, who also serves as the CEO and the CFC, and the SC of this company, she added that she and her colleagues dedicate ourselves to uplifting students and communities that are underserved. That's Jay-Z's mom. To launch a financial education program that will reach more students and communities, along with dedicated partners like Toyota and the Wharton School of Business, is a vision we're finally seeing it come in fruition. They've been planning this all the time, y'all. Stuff like this don't happen overnight. I know we live in this microwave society, but stuff like this don't happen overnight. Don't happen overnight. And y'all, I saw something yesterday. Let me see where it is. Oh, uh, I want to apologize. I apologize to Darryl Barnes. He on the show now yesterday. And not for what he thought, because I told him, man, I apologize. Because he mentioned why I was talking about this show called Cross with Aldous, what else? I got to call this name. I don't want to call the wrong name. So that's why I just called him Aldous. Here we are. Aldous Hodge. You know what? I know if Jay-Z involved in this, because see, this really Rock Nation. And I don't know if you know Jay-Z and Beyonce's business assets and business situations are completely separate. I'm not going to give you no spoilers. I talked about it yesterday because it's a unique show. I talked about it. You missed it. I didn't give you a spoiler, but it was a lesson in that what I talked about yesterday. Great lesson. You need to go back. I didn't finish it because Jimmy came on, but I had to apologize to Darryl Barnes because he kept mentioning the writer who wrote the book, James Patterson. And I said, look, I'm not centering James Patterson today. I want to center the black directors direct every last one of these movies. Black writers, the showrunner is black, Ben Watkins, all of these people. I want to center them. You know how, and sometimes y'all, I get a little defensive. When I'm centering black people, just do me a favor, hold all your white saviors comments till later. I know you're used to doing it because white people save you a lot, but just when I'm centering us, because a lot of us, we don't get centered. So on this show, I just centered us. I ain't talking negative about nobody else, but I'm centering us on this show. But James Patterson is the writer. Yes, I know he's the writer, but I wasn't centering him then. I was centering how they got, but check this out. Hollywood need they behind beat sometimes, or maybe all the time, because they asked James Patterson, the guy, they asked him, they said, when you first approached, when were you first, they asked him a question, when were you first approached about Alex Cross TV series? What intrigued you about the pitch? You got to think about it. Alex Cross been on TV twice, the movie twice. Morgan Freeman played him one time. Tyler Perry played him another time. I love the one that Tyler Perry did. And y'all don't like Tyler Perry, but I loved him in Cross. That was a unique dynamic between him and that character. And it was a great and a unique dynamic with Morgan Freeman in Along Came Spider. But watch this, y'all. He said, here's the interesting thing about the Hollywood stuff. He said, when I wrote the first book, Alex Cross book, I didn't have a lot of money and Hollywood came calling. Knock, 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 knock. This is his words. He said, they offered 7 figures and I did not have a lot of money, right? They offered me 7 figures. They said, we just want one change in the movie. The people that was offering the money, they said, we just want to make one change. We want Alex Cross to be a white guy. This is what Hollywood said. I got the money for you, Janae. But you got to make a change. You got to make Alex Cross white. Now, they talking to a white man who didn't have no money. And he said he told them, F you. He said it was painful, but I did. He said, so we didn't sell it right away. He said, but a few years later, Paramount came, so we did a couple of movies with Morgan Freeman. He's safe to them. He said one of the pieces here is David Ellison with Skydance. He said David's been involved early, and then Amazon got involved, which was great. And I met Ben Watkins along the way. Ben Watkins was the showrunner, which was absolutely terrific. And he said, obviously, all this came in later. All this is a producer on this show. That's why I'm talking about this, y'all. I'm not just you. I keep trying to tell y'all. This James a sports show. We're in the barbershop talking about Cross. Y'all, I ain't even trying to get y'all to go watch Cross. I told y'all this yesterday. But I wanted to see, when that man mentioned James Patterson yesterday, he wanted to talk about a white man when I was sending black people. So you know what I did, y'all? I went home and studied the white guy. I ain't crazy. But when I found out, I read a million things about him. But when I found that out about him, I said, I mess with James Patterson. I mess with him. That's a good one. That's an ally. So, but when I found out he rejected a 7-figure, y'all around here ain't rejecting $20 to sell your friends out. That's why we got to get some money in this community. He refused, listen, ladies and gentlemen, he refused to whitewash his lead detective. And later went on and talked about how that character was inspired by his own experience with a black family in his hometown. He said, I can't let you change the story. This is why I wrote the book. So smart-ass black dude in my hometown. A psychologist, PhD in psychology, and he happened to be a detective, and he was brilliant. So I'm going to write stories about him. Y'all get that. Y'all get that one on the way home. Y'all get that. Y'all get that on the way home. Y'all get it on the way home. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. But ladies and gentlemen, the streak is over. Thank you, Janae. Janae, you took me 46 minutes out the way. in the right position. Cause it was something, Janae, I wanted to I wanted to pivot to, but I missed my pivot. So I'm gonna get back to it one day. But I'm gonna get it. But thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is why I love Women Rock Wednesday. Guys, I need you to start asking questions like that. And you think I'm gonna not have Women Rock Wednesday? I don't care how late they come on the show. Y'all was kind of late today. But the streak is over. Cleveland Cavaliers, they got the head toe in last night. They got the head beat. It was not toe in last night. They got beat last night. The Boston Celtics came to play. Y'all, you know what? I saw something last night. I want to share something about that a little bit. I'm late, but I'm here. You know, sometimes when you see a game live, it's different. And especially guys like me. I told y'all when I never forget when I'm watching LeBron live and I'm sitting close by, it's just, you can hear him running down the floor. Boom, 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 boom. Like boom, boom, boom. Uh, then you look at certain teams. I looked at the Celtics last night. Like sometimes, like when I size guys up, I said, "Hey, is this team big enough to handle this team?" And what I watched about the Cavaliers and watching about basketball, and I hope your sons and your everybody that play basketball or coach basketball, you have to own your space on the floor. Let nobody take your space. Own your space on the floor. Tell your son, tell your nephew, own your space on the floor, man. Take it. Don't let nobody take it. And the Cavs, they was down, they had a few injuries, but they showed fight last night. Darius Garland, this the only thing hurt him. Darius Garland, the point guard, was 3 for 27. You gonna lose if your point guard go 3 for 27. You got a good chance of losing. Jason Tatum was playing well. Oh, but I learned something last night. I want y'all to hear this. This is a regular season game, not the playoff game, but it had playoff intensity. And the reason I said it, that's so, each coach played 8 players last night. Think that, I took a mental note. And I'm trying to make sure. Each coach, I just took a mental note last night because I was watching this substitution patterns. Y'all know I had to do that because I call games announced. 8 players, each team. When you go to college, when your son go to college, his job is to be in that top 8, or he's not gonna play. He's got to get good enough to be in that top 8. You got me? But I keep going. But remember, I keep wanting y'all to own your space. But y'all, I saw this young kid last night that kind of amazed me. I'm gonna talk about everybody. I think I'm gonna get some sports in right now. Coach Janaden got me thinking about some right now that I'm gonna come back to in the coming weeks. I love watching Donovan Mitchell play. He operates at an extremely high level. Young players, watch him. He got a little D Wade in him, his athleticism. He has the ability, y'all, listen to me. And I said this the other day on the show. He has the ability to stop while dribbling real hard, like he going to the basket, stop, get you all balanced. It can put on brakes better than anybody in the NBA on balance. I see that. I'm watching that. I watched it. His ability, y'all, to stop. Why aren't we teaching that, King Sticks? Mark Edwards, why aren't we teaching guys this? Y'all, last night I watched the game. It was so intense. And I disagree with you. Cleveland is ready for Boston. They were just a play away from winning the game. I call that, I would never say they ain't ready for Boston. I don't know what you're looking at. Boston ain't got nobody on their team like this boy I'm talking about right now. His ability to stop while dribbling hard. I told y'all, people look at the game different than I do. But I'm going to give you some, I'm just going to run my mouth. I'm going to give you some reasons why I think it is good. But watch this. Check this out. The man stopped while dribbling so hard, and he in perfect balance and just pull up for a shot. He might do that better than any player in the league. Kemba Walker had that ability. See, what it is, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what I would teach a kid. I wish I had taught, I never taught my son this. I never did. I never taught him this. I wish I had taught him this. See, you really believe, the defender really believe that he is loading up because he's so low and so strong, and he's finna go to the rim with it, and then boom, he just raised up, and the next thing he elevating on you. You retreating. You retreating. The next game, Cleveland winning. Mark it, I told you that. The next game, Cleveland gonna win. They're elevating. Yo, he can elevate himself. Jason Tatum is 6'9", ladies and gentlemen. Share the show. And he can elevate himself right over Tatum and knock down the shot anytime he want to. This dude ain't that tall. I've been next to him. Not that tall. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, Cleveland is the second best team in the East to me. December the 1st, they're going to play the Celtics again. Did anybody realize and anybody know that Atlanta is undefeated in the NBA Cup? The legend of Dyson Daniels, I tried to tell y'all a couple of weeks ago. I said, boy, this dude named Dyson Daniels, he ripped a Fox the other day to win the game. Y'all, you know what? I was thinking about something. When you think about how building a culture, you draft the right guy and then you try to develop him, right? Well, I'm thinking about these Boston Celtics. When you think about how many big games that Jason Tatum and Brown have played over their career. You can also throw in Derek White and Al Horford and Drew Holiday, who has played in finals game. But for Tatum and Brown, them two dudes at the Boston Celtics, it's like it just comes second nature to them in these big games. In these big games, it's just they've been on a lot of finals games. They've been in over 100 playoff games for both of them. And last night was a big regular season game, and they rose to that level. And it's not anything out of the ordinary for them. Like I said, I just watched the game different. It's hard for teams to get to a point where it becomes second nature in these kind of games. These kind of games are intense. And knowing the pressure that comes with it, the tension that comes with it. Everybody was talking about that game. It's not just winning or losing, ladies and gentlemen. It's the matter of performing well in these games, Corey. What Jimmy said, it's no such thing as a bad game in a big game. You got to be able to perform. I didn't think it was a big game last night, but Jimmy talked about it. But Shadow Creek beat the brakes off of Second Baptist. Second Baptist just ain't got the firepower. But Reese Austin showed up. He got his money. He had 23 points. 10th grader had 23 points. Probably was the leading scorer of the whole game. But let me get back to the NBA. I'll talk about that in a minute. You know, I just thought about it being big games, big games. Y'all, let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. In this massive game last night, the place where Jason Tatum stood out more than anything is when you got Mobley and Allen out there, and Jason Tatum having 12 rebounds, defensive rebounds. Two of the best offensive rebounders in the game. Jason Tatum took it on himself. You remember somebody the other day talking about, well, somebody resulted to just being rebounders and defenders. Yo, rebounding and defending is two of the most important aspects of the game. If I tell you, if I'm your coach and I'm saying, man, I need you to rebound, man, and I need you to defend, dude, that means I think you can do it. I need those things for us to win the game. Let me see. Where are my glasses? I want to see how many rebounds the other two dudes had. Mobley had 11. Allen had 11. Jason Tatum had 12. Because he did the things that he had to do that to win the game. Y'all, it was a one-possession game. We got to watch what we're teaching and instilling our players out here. He recognized right away, I need the guard and I need to rebound. Al Horford, old ass Al Horford, blocking shots at the rim. Yo, he had 3 blocks, all of them on Darius Garland, trying to ISO him. And guess what he was doing? Meeting him at the rim, at the apex of the shot. Have any of y'all taught y'all kids, hey, just don't slap at the ball. Show them what an apex, explain what the apex is, and teach them. Meet at the apex of the time. You be the last one to jump. Be second to jump. Let him jump first. Then you go get it. We don't care nothing about nobody back hurting. If you play, you play. So don't come on here. I knew that, but I wasn't gonna. I don't give excuses like that on this show, King Sticks. We don't give. If you play, if you hurt, if it's a difference between hurt and injured. If you're hurt, just don't play. If you're injured, don't play. If you go out there and play, we're gonna hold you accountable. But what I found out, these particular players knew where to put their energy. Are we teaching our young kids that? Especially in Houston. I'm talking to Houston right now. Have any coach said, man, that's this way you put your energy this day, sir? So you ain't got it today. Your shot ain't going in. Put your energy here. Don't worry about how many shots he's shooting. A lot of people out here, they think when you think big game, man, I got to go 30. I got to do this. I got to do that. These guys last night, the Boston Celtics, they knew the gravity of the game. These guys out there and put their energy towards defense and rebounding. They were also really aggressive off the ball, away from the ball. They was cutting. Wasn't no ISO ball. Wasn't that much ISO ball last night. It wasn't about give me the ball and let me do my thing. My coach won't let me do me. You ain't got no me. He won't let me play my game. You ain't got no game, bruh. Don't nobody even come to see half of y'all. These guys has grown. People tried to wedge them against each other early in their career. Emi Udoka came and brought them together. They won a championship. That's why I tell you young kids out here, man, don't let these grown folks with they washed up ass try to break your team up. It's your team. It's you and your teammates at war. Your mama ain't at war. Your cousin ain't at war. Your AAU coach ain't war. Your A all of them people, they ain't doing nothing but running their mouth. Don't let nobody break your team up, young men and young women. I don't know what the problem with these grown adults always got something negative to say. But these guys is grown. It's a big game. And they were out there and their energy was towards defense and rebound. Listen, spice this. That's what champions do. One of my best friends in the world is a coach, one of the coaches on their Celtic staff. This is the stuff that he teaches them and talk to them. And I try to share with people on the show. He said, that's what champions do. So now mamas and now referees and sideline, you know, we got a lot of people just come over and sit on the sideline so they can talk. Some people come to your games. I told you, I never forget. I'm sitting in the stands one time. Y'all don't understand, man. I come from this come from a pure place. I sit in the stands and walked in the game. And four old dudes were sitting over to the right. I was over here. I didn't know them, but I know they had Jimmy magazine. So they were looking at the magazine. So they would come in and say, man, yeah, he got this little man, this so he got him ranked right here. Let's see how he don't look like much to me. Damn, he wear goggles. No. It was talking about my son, right? I'm sitting there listening now. They don't know who I am. Never forget it. Listen to me. I never said nothing to nobody. About 35 points. I don't know how many assists. I don't know how many rebounds later. I went over there. I said, boy, I heard y'all talking about that dude. He said, yeah, that little motherfucker play, man. I said, I overheard what y'all said about it in the beginning. He said, we didn't know. I said, y'all watch what you say in the stands, man. Because his parents could be right there. Well, you know, his parent ain't there. I said, yeah, I'm his dad. Both, I could have had all of them for a nickel. Man, my bad. I said, I'm just letting you know in the future. Because some of these mammies and some of these crazy ass daddies, hear y'all talking about their cousin. I never forget when people talking crazy about certain players and they brothers and their cousins trying to say, mother, you watch what you say. Just sit in there and watch the game. I know you're a fan. I paid my $5 like an. Okay. But I was thinking about Donovan Mitchell. It made me. I was watching him the other day, and I watched him on a podcast. And this is the guy who I was talking about earlier, who can stop on a dime. He was talking to Ryan Clark. Old Ryan, ugly dressing Clark. Ryan Clark asked him, this gonna be a good subject. Y'all need to, before I go there, y'all need to share this show. Because this gonna affect this summer basketball, this high school basketball. That's this is what I'm talking about right now. Watch this. Just watch this. Share the show right quick. Text, tag, tell a friend. They need to hear this right now. I'll splice it and send it to them later. I'm sharing it with y'all, what I saw. The young man, Ryan Clark, asked him, how did he navigate being a young black man from New York that hooped in that atmosphere, but also going to Greenwich, Connecticut, and going to Brewster's private school, Brewster's Academy, the private school. And, and he said, I had to navigate those two worlds. Now watch this. Because somehow young kids go to private schools. He asked him about how did that experience shape who he is and how he moves. Donovan said it allowed him to see the difference in the world. So it's good for young men like Sebastian to go to St. John's. Early in my son's life, for the 5th and 6th grade, I sent him to Kincaid. But he didn't want to go there no more. He wanted to go to school in his neighborhood. But I told him, we better get the desired end. Result was to go to the Ivy League. That's why I sent him there. And me and him had a pact. If you making the grades at this school here, hard as this school is, you better not ever make a B when you go to this public school. And you're going to take all AP classes. See, y'all, it's a method to everything I do. See, and I'm listening to him. It's a method. See, I don't know what plans other people got. But in the 6th grade, I had planned, no, from birth I had planned, but in the 6th grade, I put the plan in action. I want my son to go to Harvard. Harvard, Harvard, Harvard. That's just me. Alan Branch loved to tell the story. He said he knew where he was sitting when I called him. I said, man, this is the plan. 5th grade, Kincaid, go to Kincaid. This situation, goes catapult him. Let me tell you something about my little son. I love him. He saw something in the 5th and 6th grade and came home and told me about it. Wasn't a right. He said, Dad, they always invite me to everything. He was the only black male in his class. He had 2 black girls in his class. That was his friend. I don't know if they still friends or not. 2 black girls in his class. He came home and he knew in the 6th grade something was wrong with this. He said, Dad, they invited me to his party. Some rich kid got a big ass house over there off of Memorial. He said they invited me, but they told me not to tell the other people, the other guys. He said, I'm friends with everybody. But they told me not to tell them. He in the 6th grade realizing something was wrong with that. Now, Janae, I know you ain't from Houston, but Kincaid's one of the most exclusive schools, hard to get through schools, private schools in Houston, right? So, I never forget, 7th grade turnaround. You know, you have to have your deposit in before school starts. I'm out of town because I travel a lot. Me and his mom went together. He lived with her and me when I'm back in town. I never forget, the people at the school called me. Robert wasn't in school. I said, what? Mr. Hatter, he hadn't showed up. Is anything wrong? I called back home. She had enrolled him in the public school in the neighborhood. Nice school. But you don't get your deposit back. Y'all, I'm telling y'all some stuff that don't nobody know. Never forget it. But when my baby told me, I just want to go to school in my neighborhood, all of my dream, that's when I said, look, player, I'm okay with it. But our goal is to get to Harvard. So if you can get to Harvard from here, I'm good. Janae, this real. Janae, he went and just blistered high school. All the AP class. He had a 5.0 and a 5.0 still. He just blistered it. He had one bad grade that kept him from being valedictorian. Because in 11th grade, he started kind of liking girls a little bit, right? So he made a B. That B stopped him. I never forget it. But when I think about this, made me think about this young man, Donovan Mitchell. Robert was allowed to see some stuff. I forgot who these people were. Y'all got to understand, they was in 5th and 6th grade. It's somebody we know and it's popular. I don't keep up with this. I don't care who house they went on. He just said, Dad, they invite me to these places, but they don't want me to tell other people. But he was smart enough to realize that. But Donovan Mitchell said, it allowed him to see the different culture, the cultural differences in the world. He said, what we go through now in this world, this Donovan Mitchell, he said the separation, the hate, don't tell me, the the uneducatedness of both sides. Y'all know this election. He said, a lot of people just not knowing. He said, white, black, Asians, Hispanic. He said, Donovan Mitchell, talking about he's a big advocate for education, right? Mama, a school teacher. She teach at the private school. That's probably how he got there. I didn't go that far yet, though. He said, because at the end of the day, I don't know you from Sunday because I haven't researched you. He said, I don't know your history. That's when people don't know you. Y'all don't know me. I don't know a lot of y'all. I didn't know who James Patterson was. I just knew he was an author. I didn't know he did that until I researched it. That's why education is so important. I don't know your history. I don't know y'all's past. I haven't studied you like that yet. And on top of that, they don't pay teachers a lot. I said enough for me. I said that a long time ago. He said that Donovan Mitchell said he had the code switch. He said he's in the city, New York City, from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then from Monday through Friday, he's in Greenwich, Connecticut. Look Greenwich, Connecticut up. I got another word. Have any one of y'all ever heard of Bronxville, New York? I've ever been there. Bronxville, not the Bronx, Bronxville, New York. The most highest medium house value in the whole country. That one city. The cheapest house in the whole city. I think it's $2.5 million. Going to schools like Cornell exposed my son to that kind of stuff because I ain't never heard it until he called me and said, I said, where you at now? He said, Dad, this is where I'm at. I said, give me the address. I don't know them damn people. You know what I'm saying? But the kid said he was in Greenwich, Connecticut, Monday through Friday. He said he had to navigate that from the 9th grade till he was 16 years old. And he said it showed him differences. He go play basketball in the city. I'm talking about Donovan Mitchell. If you're just joining from the beautiful campus of the Legacy School of Sports and Sciences, in the sports and marketing class, my favorite class in the whole world. And you know why that's my favorite class in the whole world? Because you got an instructor that's so smart enough to turn this particular show on when y'all get in the class. And he been doing it for years. Alfio VZ. Hold up. This is for him. Hold up. This for him and y'all. Hold up. This for y'all. Hold up. I got something for y'all. This for y'all. Them for my babies at the school. Janae, we got a school, the sports and marketing class watching this show. And y'all, I'm talking about Donovan Mitchell. I don't know why. I might say, sometimes I might say Donovan Williams. I don't mean Donovan Williams. I mean Donovan Mitchell. Okay? But he was talking about how he navigated being a New York City point guard, New York City basketball player, living in New York City for 3 years. Then but he went to school in Greenwich, Connecticut. He realized that as Black people, we don't see what he saw on a daily basis. So he uses his platform like I use this platform to share y'all stuff that didn't happen at Cornell, that didn't happen in my son's chair. I'm sharing that with you because and so your kid, Jarrell Barron, is at Brown University now. And his mom and his dad used to watch this show all the time. And I know it influenced them. All I'm trying to do, like I told a parent the other day, I might use your situation, but I'm speaking to the next generation. I'm speaking to those young kids in that class, that marketing class. I'm speaking to you. I have to use this platform to speak to you. You got an instructor already. I'm just giving you another set of ears because I know he teaching y'all the right way. But Donovan Mitchell said he does a lot of stuff now at the school that he went to, Brewster Academy. He said he bring now Black and brown students to the school on scholarship through basketball. He come and fund it because he had that advantage. He want them to see that other world. He said so they can understand you don't just have to hoop. It's all right to own the team. Imagine my students in the class. It's a dude on the Houston, Texas. You might be talking about the quarterback and all of them, but it's 53 of them and he pays each one of them. He signs the front of the check. They sign the back or the direct deposit. You got a better chance at being him than one of them. I need to say, you got a better chance on being the owner of the team than one of them. Donovan don't want these kids to just say you more than an athlete. You don't just have to play football. You don't just have to be a rapper. There's so many other avenues that you can make a lot of money. And don't have to worry about nobody trying to gangbang and all that old crazy stuff. I told a person a long time ago, I'd rather be rich, not famous. Y'all don't understand. Before I came on this show, I would never, all of my social media was private. That's why I don't have that many followers. I monitor who follow me. I want to know. It's personal to me. I ain't trying to get a lot of followers. I ain't never told y'all to follow me on my social media. Ever. Ever, ever. But he was talking about when he was going on spring break, he was going to tournaments and play basketball. He in the 8th and 9th grade. But his friends in the 8th and ninth grade, they were going to intern at Goldman Sachs. You don't know who Goldman Sachs is, just go look it up. Goldman Sachs, just go look it up. They doing this in the 8th grade. He said, I just figured out who Goldman Sachs was when he got his first contract, and he was 20 years old. He said, oh, these people had a 10-year difference and a 10-year head start on me. He said that's what shapes the way he moves now. There's so much that can be provided on his platform. Y'all, all the Chop Shop is a platform for y'all. This ain't no show for me. This ain't no show for Jimmy. It's a platform. When I learn stuff, I share it with y'all. And when y'all learn something, y'all share it with me. But what he said though was so cool. He said about bringing our young people and showing them it's a whole nother life. Greenwich, Connecticut is just 30 miles away, 30 minutes away. I've been all up and down that corridor, y'all. Y'all got to realize, excuse me, I didn't grow up going up and down that corridor. Y'all got to realize, that's where the Ivy League is. So all of them schools is up and down, it's at 95. Except Cornell, it's over, it's on the other side. But I keep telling y'all, so won't nobody tell you what they said. Somebody school is an Ivy. No, it ain't. But 8 Ivy schools, 8. They call the ancient 8. Because some people don't know this. It was some people on my son's basketball team that they never heard of it. Their parents ain't never heard of it. They said they didn't think it was a school when he announced he was gonna go there. They didn't know. Did y'all hear that? They didn't know. Shout out to Jacob Visa getting inducted to the National Honor Society last night. Books before ball, proud dad. He didn't know. You got the 2 C's, Columbia and Cornell. You got the 2 P's, Penn and Princeton. Then you got Harvard, Yale, Brown, and Dartmouth. Dartmouth is at the top. If you're looking on the map, it's way up there. So I go to Harvard and Dartmouth. That's a trip. Brown and Yale. That's a trip. Princeton and Penn. That's a trip. Then New York, Columbia. I come all the way from up there, come all the way even down this coast. I used to ride up and down that highway by myself because I wanted to see my baby play. I know I didn't miss a game. Y'all, I might have missed 2 or 3. I told you I missed a couple of them because they had that big storm up there. That's the only games I missed. And listen, this stuff passed by just like that. Donovan Mitchell, so this is not on the opposite side of the country. It's just 30 minutes from New York. It's a whole new world. $25 million mansions. Then he go to New York. He playing with dudes just trying to make it out. His dad worked for the Mets for 20 years. His mom was a private school teacher. How did he fit in? He said it was almost like an imposter syndrome. He was black. You're from the suburbs. You're not from the city. Then you tell people you're from New York, they say, well, you ain't from New York, that's upstate. You upstate. You're not white enough to be with the white kids. You're not black enough to be with the black kids. You're in the middle ground. I had that uncomfortable situation in high school. My mom, we moved out, suburb. It was busing. One project's over here. They bust them there. Another project over there. I live in a house in the community. Beautiful community. At school, because I'm black, people assume that I was either from that project, Walter Simmons, or Getwell Gardens. Because they don't, most of the blacks at the school, ladies and gentlemen, was from, they bust them in and they bust them in. Man, and those two, they had rivalries. So I was in the middle from the 9th through the 12th grade until they understand, man, we ain't gonna mess with that crazy ass dude. He just cool. But in the 9th grade and the 10th grade, I struggled. I struggled. The man said, you're in the middle. He said it was uncomfortable to speak about at first. And I was feeling, y'all got to understand, the dude was telling this story, and I was just I'm feeling this. He said, because at that age, I didn't understand. Being in a city, he said, there's a level of hunger that he developed from being around them dudes and from his teammates. He said, that's what really shaped him. He said, I was a baseball player. I didn't want to play no basketball. Basketball was whatever. But when he was in the hood, hooping every week, he said that's where his hunger came from, being around them guys. He said that's the thing that as a kid he had to go through. He said most kids don't speak on it. I ain't never spoke on this. But when he talked about it like that, it made me think about the stuff I had to encounter. Senior, the senior, on our senior trip, you know how you go on the senior trip? 80 people? Ain't but 6 of them black. And then he said something. He said he was hooping with kids that need to make it out. He said they wasn't well off. He said his family wasn't. Yeah, my dad played for the Mets, but we wasn't well off. But he said if I didn't make it to the NBA, it was still gonna be okay. There are other ways to be successful in this world if you're not one of those 450 in the NBA. If you're not one of those 1,500 in the NFL. Those jobs are limited. There are other ways to be successful. Janae asked the question, do you think inner city struggle is important for a certain level of success in basketball? I don't think it is anymore. These suburb kids like the Boozers and Cooper Flag, they tearing these dudes and inner city dudes a new asshole. These suburb kids are tearing the inner city dudes a new one. So I don't think inner city struggle is important anyway, as it used to be. Those things have changed to me because I'm seeing these people with 2-car garages killing everybody. They ain't from the projects, ain't killing everybody. Y'all follow me? Janae, you got a follow up to that comment? I just think it's different now. Go look at our top players. These people ain't destitute. It used to be a way you got to make. Now people still want to make it to that NBA. Now I don't care where they at. Shit, little Opie want to make it to the NBA, but I can't get out of here, man. I know it's Women Rock Wednesday, but I was thinking about uh, Coach Prime. I had so much stuff for y'all. Janae, you took for 47 minutes early in the show, but it was great. It was great. I'm glad you did. But I was thinking about Coach Prime. Y'all got to understand, I always had to carve out a segment for him because I was one of the greatest champions of him in the beginning when everybody else was against me. I was talking about the value of a top athlete going to HBCU. Yeah, 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 yeah. She said two-car garages. Yes. I was talking about that. It wasn't popular because everybody on the show was talking, man, it ain't gonna never happen. It ain't gonna never happen. Man, them folks ain't, man, you gotta get that bag. They gotta get that bag, bag. That's what they were telling me. That's what they were talking to me about. I told y'all need to share this show. There's some stuff, Janae, I know you ain't never, you in LA, you ain't never heard of no show like this. I know that you can sit up here and talk back and forth like this. And somebody gonna address your answer, ain't gonna ask you for no money to address it. He said, you should never want to struggle in nothing. Coming from Cedar Terrace, I never wanted to go back. Absolutely. But it happens. It happens. Everybody's not fortunate enough to be in those situations. Some people grow up in certain situations. Y'all got to understand, no matter what it was, we grew up in situations that we just glad to get out. Like I was telling Jimmy yesterday, you survived it. Now you're smart enough to get out and do something else. She said, oh, what's the value? I'm a Howard girl. She went to Howard. Boy, I got a topic I'm gonna talk to y'all about one day. Women Rock, next Women Rock wins. Cause I'm talking to some people. Next Women Rock wins. I got to get permission to talk about it. Y'all know I'm not gonna talk about in people because I might have to use a name or two. I got to get their permission. But I was thinking about Coach Prime. Uh, um, nobody never gave him. Hold on. Nobody never gave him. Uh, hold on. Let me make a quick text. Wait a minute, Jimmy. Hold on one second. Waiting on Jimmy to come back. See, can I get him back? Uh, Blacked out the screen. Um, I'm gonna wait on the Coach Prime because that's a whole subject that I want to share with y'all. Because it was people in the beginning that just didn't believe uh people can achieve what they want from uh from a HBCU. Travis Hunter, everybody in the world, they dropped him from a 5-star to a 4-star because he chose Jackson State, the star people. That's what I call them. I don't have no respect. I call them the star people. Cause I ain't never knew what a damn star. I ain't never come talking about I'm a 5-star, my son. I ain't never used no star system. But they dropped this kid because he signed. He was going to Florida State. He was the #1 player in the class. He went to Jackson State. He wasn't the number one player in the class no more. His coach, Deion Sanders, tried to get an interview with all of these colleges, SMU, TCU, and Florida State, and they said, no. But Ashley Robinson, young man, gave him opportunity. Y'all watch this. I got to talk about this. And then I'm going to give you the rest tomorrow. So now he went to a destitute. That was the worst program. They gave him the worst program in the, what y'all call it, the Power Four, the FBSC. They gave him the worst. Colorado was the worst job on the planet. And he done turned that in to one of the most talked about. It's talked about so much, Jimmy. I'm going to put you on here now. It's talked about so much, even on the shows this week. Hold up, y'all. I got to show y'all this. Even on the show. Listen. Watch this. Every day, the future of Deion Sanders. His likely landing spots. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you know early right now. I wouldn't be surprised. My son going to be the number one pick. And you want me to come and coach my son? And you can give me unlimited resources and money? And he said something I'm going to share with y'all tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in early tomorrow. I'm going to start off with that tomorrow. But Jimmy, I just want to say, Jimmy, think about it now. They did not like him. They think you just a high school coach, and your school wasn't that good. Some people came on this show. Well, look what they did at their little school over there. There's some people still mad at him about the school. Jameson Morrow. But now this man got Jimmy. I'm on the phone this morning and yesterday, talking to people in the NBA, in the NFL. His owners are lined up to throw this. Nobody would give him a shot but Ashley Robinson. Now they lined up to try to throw money at him. And don't let him mess around and make it to this bowl series. They're gonna try to give him an offer he can't refuse. It's crazy, Jimmy. It's crazy. Jimmy, you remember you was thinking, man, I don't think what his name? Travis Hunter. I don't know if that was a good move. Chris Walker. I don't know if that was a good move. Jimmy, no other school. They were gonna lie to him. I'm finding out Florida State was gonna lie to him. I get you on campus. I ain't gonna let you play but one position. Prime said what he was gonna do, and he did it. Jimmy, they told him you wasn't gonna be no first-round draft pick. They told the family, Jimmy, you know how these black families be crazy from the South, even from the Atlanta area. This our way out, and baby, you sure we can trust you to go to HBCU, to Jackson State? Coach Jimmy was unknown back then. Now I know what you said. You looking at the book backwards. A lot of people looking at the book backwards now. And now he's in a position. Nobody gave him a job but Ashley Robinson. And now he can pick where he wants to go. He got a hell of a decision to make. What's up, Jim?
Oh, yeah. What's the deal? What's the deal? Women Rock Wednesday.
Yeah.
Women Rock Wednesday on this joint. Make sure you guys share the show if you haven't done so already. Share the show. Is that's always a good topic with Deion.
Another great topic. Great topic. But Jimmy, I've been on the road.
At the same time, they want. At the same time, I've said it before. I gave you the comparison in the grassroots scouting service business. If a guy's doing some damage, in order to solve it, you try your best to get him a job out of the sector. And that's the way.
Well, what happened in the HBCU? What happened to Jackson State? They tried to get him out of there?
No, they didn't try to get him out necessarily. They didn't. Some people.
The power. Yeah, I know the story.
Remember, it wasn't a swag thing. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a swag thing. That was a HBCU thing.
No, but Jimmy,
remember they kept throwing They kept throwing the Tennessee State's Eddie George. He's doing this. Why y'all talking about them? It's other NFL guys that's coaching.
No,
So
no,
it was more than that.
Jimmy, what I found out from the NFL too, I mean the H, but what you call them, the PWIs, they had to get him out of there, cause a lot of them players was thinking about coming to HBCUs too now.
But
Them
remember
top players, them
the
top players
movement
was
was
coming,
right
buddy.
there, and that's like anything. Once they see a moment turn into a movement in
Yes.
this country,
He said
they
they
have
got to stop it.
historically precedented and have shown ways to whereas they have dispelled and they know how to make us brush back. But us mean a majority of black folk. If you guys remember, some of you guys lived in the early 90s when them people scared to death because a lot of the rap lyrics were in those going into those early 90s, in those late 80s, it was what they call conscious rap, right? Uh, uh,
Public Enemy.
motivational raps.
Yeah.
It was basically a push against the establishment. You had a lot of your guys. That's when first they taught you a lot of the 5% rappers were out in abundance. Those were the popularized ones. And then when the pushback started is when NWA came out with the song F the Police. When F the Police and then Luke Skywalker was around the same time
Pop that coochie.
yeah, then Maxine Walters and everything took him to courts, and he had to about that opened the door for a lot of the cussing that you hear on the rap songs right this day. That road was paved because of the Luke Skywalkers, the Ice T's, the NWAs of the world. And so now we look back and we think about, like I said, right around that time, you had what they called the Million Man March. And that was another whole thing they had to fight against because that was a move, I guess a moment that turned into a movement. They went to various cities, basically like they're going on tour, galvanizing the powers that be in each city, speaking in church houses and congregations. Then all was called climaxing as the Million Man March. And when they saw what the power of that could have been, then all of a sudden things start to happen to dissolve that movement. And that was guided and spearheaded at that time, I think, by Louis Farrakhan. And so like you said, you see things.
Let's get into that. Let's get into basketball because I can't be all day today. So let's get on.
Yeah, man.
Let's get
I
on
went and
this.
saw some basketball last night. I'll tell you that.
Uh-huh.
And
What you
you
see?
guys, this. If you guys that didn't know, some of you guys, parents, they come in in 4-year intervals, meaning that your son, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, and you really have no idea. You probably ain't heard of me when your son was in the 6th, 7th, or even 8th grade. Some people, and there was a time when people would go to the gyms, watch your babies play, evaluate your kids, and there was no edits. There was no social media platforms that went and tweeted their name out. There was nobody say, "Oh man, kid hit 2 shots." All of a sudden, he's what had hit 2 shots. He what?
No, he cooking.
Yeah, cooking.
He cooking.
So I mean, it wasn't none of that back then. People got it out the skillet, out the mud, and even taking steps. And I go to them games back in the days. This was popularized. This type of sheet. This is the one from Maid Creek the other day we talked about yesterday. This is what y'all wonder what I'm doing. Y'all see me, and I like to come. Sometimes I like to come there, and this is what I'm doing. These are notes in the middle of the page. In that middle of the page is different notes where I can go back and tell you what happened at a certain point. Let me put it up closer to you. In a certain point of each quarter, I can tell you what happened. So therefore, that's the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way. I ain't got to go back and watch no film unless I wanted to. I don't have to. I got what I saw. My eyes saw what I saw, and I write my notes down. This is from last night. You see, I got different colors on this one. Look here. Look. I got different colors. Highlight. I can go and see what each kid did, notes in the middle of the page, right? This is, and then when I go to games, I ask a coach, the home coach, Coach, can you leave me a roster at the front door? Or I might say, in some cases, if I think it's going to be really packed or something, I say, well, Coach, leave me a seat at the scores table and put me a roster there. And so coaches will leave me and leave me a roster, and I appreciate. You see my name there. I appreciate the coach from Second Baptist and his staff. This and understand Taylor Land was a Division I college coach last year. He was a D1 college coach, and so he comes over there. Good program. They often one of their best starts in the history of the school. They were 8-0. They're hosting Shadow Creek, which we know the punch that Shadow Creek possesses. We saw them at the season opener. And they, but the Second Baptist, we just want to see. They wasn't expected to win. We said that yesterday. I want to see if they can battle, they can stand this, how they going to fare against this type of Division I talent on the court. I go there, and I go to summary first. Second Baptist lost the game 60-86. Lost by 26 points. Shadow Creek, pretty much every player in their rotation packed their weight last night. They still wasn't clicking to me. They clicked in a quarter in the intervals. I know this Shadow Creek team, I can tell when a team is clicking. Still not clicking yet.
No, they're not.
So for them to not be clicking and beat a team that could win the state championship that's ranked right now number 2 in the state. Second Baptist ranked number 2
wait a minute, why is Second Baptist ranked that high?
It was 8-0. What do you mean? They're ranked in private schools, in TAPS.
But Jimmy, they got one and a half player.
No, they got 2 players. The other kid is a player, man. The other kid is a player, and they got a good. Understand? They're ranked in TAPS in private school in the 5A classification. This Second Baptist team is right now probably the favorite. They're probably gonna win state, unless something crazy happens. Understand? You got a college staff. And Coach Land ain't the only Division I coach previously on that staff. One of his assistants is as well.
So that's what, Jimmy, you just making me think, something. I get a text, because I watched the game last night, right? I watched the game. They showed me how I can watch it. I watched the game. And I got a text, because I don't just listen to what nobody tell me. I got a text. Now I see why I got the text. He said, Second Baptist coach is really good. This at 4:37 yesterday, 4:37. And I said, what's good about it? Now, the reason that he's supposed to be good, because you around here talking about he's a Division I coach. But I ain't seen where he was that good yet. So, Jimmy, you can't just tell nobody.
Well, here's one of the things that they factor into that is like sometimes some people just like a person they say they're good. Some people can be a good recruiter and they say they're good. Some coaches can prove and they can get and execute or get their players to execute a game-winning play or two, or call a play that takes advantage of a mishap or a mouse in the house, and they say that's good. Now, when college coaches had them, there's another form of good, and I used to hear this a lot back 20 years ago. Westfield High School had a coach called named Larry Brown. Mm-hmm. Westfield High School was ranked number 4 in the nation, according to USA Today, that year in 2004. Well, Larry Brown, his practices, Hatter, was he was one of those coaches that went over to a lot of those camps in the summertime and stuff, and took bits and pieces of different things from different college camps or workshops, so to speak, clinics. And when you install those type of elements in your practice, it can get your Division 1 prospects college ready. It can get them ready because they're going through some of those different sequence and stations, just like a college team was. So that's one of the things that some people might throw into the pot to say whether they like a coach or he's good. And they say he's good. I would encourage you guys to start respond with the question. He's good at what?
He gave it to me. Because I asked him what's good about him. You know how I am. Because I never seen it. I ain't watched Second Baptist play. So when you tell me some stuff like this, I didn't know nothing about the man. I don't, you just said the man last name Land. I never heard of him in my life. But he said, putting his players in position to succeed, teaching them how to watch film, forcing players to accept and excel in their roles. It's a text last night. In-game adjustments when what they are doing isn't effective. Filming his practice and teaching. He has 4 possible players and a bunch of JV players and keep them competitive. But Shadow Creek is just too much for them this year. So all the coaching in the world. So you give me, like that's what I love about Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight said something to me that was so great one time. He just said to me, I heard him. He said, if you give me all the gems, the good players, and I give you all the bad players, I don't care how good a coach as I am. You're going to win that game. I don't get you. You take all my good players and give me all your bad players, and I'm Bobby Knight. You're going to have a great chance of whooping me at my behind. So I love when people say, but he gave me some good, and he gonna give me some. But I saw it last night, Jimmy. I saw the game last night. I just didn't see it last night, but maybe just Shadow Creek was just. And I said to myself, Shadow Creek is not clicking. They could beat these guys by 50. That's what I said, and I guess you must have always thought the same
First of all,
thing.
you got to understand the punch of which we're talking about. Before the season even started, I was asked what are my 4 teams from this region that can go to state. Shadow Creek is atop that list, them and Atascocita.
Yeah, but
So it's
I
not
know
making
that.
no hold on. In the highest classification in the state of Texas,
Mhm.
this Shadow Creek team is expected to be one of the final 4 teams in the region. At
Not if they
least.
playing the way they played yesterday.
It don't even matter.
It
They at
matters to me.
least
It
they
matters to
expect it
me.
because those other teams playing the same ain't got much to work with, and they got to have their A game on every night.
Oh,
Shadow
okay,
Creek,
okay, okay, okay. So
Shadow
you
Creek,
saying the
Shadow Creek
whole
can bring
region is
that.
like? So you saying everybody like that?
Everybody like that. Think
Okay.
about it. You just said you thought about Bel Air. Bel Air got Shelton Henderson, LJ, and the Seven
I ain't
Dwarfs.
never said that about. I ain't
Okay,
never said that
okay,
about
but think
Bella.
about every team is like that. So and so, and the Seven Dwarfs. You can
Okay.
apply that to every
Okay.
other
I
team in
got
this
you.
whole
I got
area.
you. Okay. Okay. All right.
John Doe, Jimmy Doe, and the Seven Dwarfs. Everybody got the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay.
So guess what? We're
Okay.
talking about a bunch of kids that's gonna be playing intramural basketball for the next 4 years of whenever they touch college. They're gonna be playing intramural and gonna be good at it
So,
with
but
good
but
memories.
but on that circuit that Second Baptist in, they'll be able to manage and be
They the
great.
red ant in their ant bed.
They'll be
It's
great.
just
And then
level.
okay, I got you.
Guess
Okay.
what?
So
Guess what?
okay.
We see it all the time in
Mhm.
basketball with the swag.
Oh,
Somebody gonna win the swag this year. And
somebody is.
there's gonna be a team that's gonna give them a push.
And yeah.
But then when you think back on it, those teams the season could be flipped because those teams often, well, we can put it like this: whoever win that SWAC tournament is going to go into the NCAA
And get their
tournament.
head toe off the bone.
But before they get there, they're gonna be feeling like, you know what? We on a 7-game win streak. We
Yes.
ain't lost since December. We've been cooking.
Until,
This a different team than what there
until,
was on the
until you
little
run against
November
Kansas.
run.
Yeah. Until you run up against Kansas.
And then there's 16 seed versus 1 seed, and then they reminded it's levels. You the red ant in your ant bed.
I'd have
You
been
ain't
there.
the red ant in this ant
That's a good one. I
bed.
like that one.
And
I
that's,
like
and
that
that's
one.
how it is with that. So now, at the end of the day, things that I saw that I learned, I
What you see?
I mean, talking about Bryce Jackson, just to say his name,
Okay.
Bryce
Yeah.
Jackson,
Talk about it.
U of H. Bryce Jackson knows. I don't. There's a great possibility that Bryce Jackson get to U of H and they will probably do like a lot of colleges do. This is me
Yes, you. Yeah.
guesstimate with my expertise.
Hmm.
And they're probably, if there's anything that needs to be done to his leg to get him healthy, they would probably use that year next year or this off season
To get him
to
healthy.
go and get that done.
Okay.
That way now, psychologically, it lets a kid don't have to come around and ask everybody, why you not playing? Man, you're not playing. So that way now he can say, well, I had surgery. I had leg surgery. Got to get this thing right. Because, it's the bigger picture when you go into it, when you're
Absolutely.
on scholarship.
Absolutely.
Scholarship players at a school, at a program such as what University of Houston basketball, men's basketball is right now. So I'm not expecting for him to roll up in there and make an immediate contribution as a true freshman.
Me either.
So, so this is what I'm watching last night. Now,
What you
however,
see?
he's still one of the red ants in the ant bed of 12th graders that he's in. One
So
of
what
the
he didn't do last night that made you think he's still hurt?
on the defensive end, there are plays that I know that with a fresh leg,
He
a
would have.
fresh set of legs,
Okay.
he could have go up and got off the glass and defended and had maybe 5, 6, 7 blocks easy.
Okay.
That there are plays instead of some layups could be dunks.
Okay.
Those are plays that can translate over
Okay.
a double pump layup or turn around over a guy and you barely getting that thing over. One time he got it blocked by a guy, a guy shorter than him just went
They
up and blocked it.
okay.
A clean block, like man on man, like oh, but he dusted himself out, went back at him, made a bucket on the next play. But those are things, the lift that he would need because right now he's below the rim basically.
Mm.
And
And that
and
what was
and
good about him, his ability to get above the rim in the
yeah,
beginning.
as a freshman,
Yeah.
so it's gonna come. And you know what though, everybody that watch him, he appears to be such a good teammate.
Yes.
He appears to be such a good listener.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't frown a lot on the court,
Mm-mm.
doesn't scowl a lot on the court.
Mm-mm.
It's almost like he's Tim Duncanish on the court, whereas you can't really tell what he's thinking. But
That's
and
a
guess
great
what?
thing. That's a great attribute.
And so I noticed that about him. Um, I noticed something about Aiden Lewis. Aiden
Mm-hmm.
Lewis wants this team. When I say clicking, a lot of these young men in Second Shadow Creek can easily bail themselves out if they take a look and trust in him more. Because he came there with a reputation as a shooter. Right? Last night, he was what? I don't know, I think 2 for 4 from 3-point land. He no, 4 for 6. 4 for 6, Adam, from 3-point land.
But then he'll go another game and don't make now.
But I'm saying that's the whole. If you have the confidence to find him in his spot, you would then eventually know who his sweet spot is. Because all 4 of his 3-pointers uh, 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 from last night were on that left side, on the left arc. So that may be his sweet spot. And he missed 2 of them, but that left spot, when they run a play for him, they run a baseline play, and it's really a unique play. They'll start Aiden Law on the right baseline, and sometimes that's one of his plays. And they'll run him clean across the baseline, and that's if a team is playing man to man, right? And they'll run him across the baseline, and as he get to that second block, that's where Bryce Jackson is. And if Bryce Jackson's man leaves and go and chases out on him, on Aiden Law, if he leaves for a second, his reaction, then guess what? Bryce is going to have a seal for entry pass and right there at the rim. It's a great play that they run for Shadow Creek. But my point is what Aiden Law had is that Aiden Law
You mean Aiden
is
Lewis?
I'm sorry. No, Aiden Law. Aiden Law.
I thought you was talking about Aiden Lewis.
No, I said Aiden Law. Aiden Law.
Oh, I
Aiden
thought
Law, the three. Aiden
you talking
Law
about the
is the
white
white
kid.
is the yes, Aiden Law.
Okay, okay, I
And
got you.
Aiden Law is not
You said Aiden Lewis in the beginning. You just missed
but yes, Aiden Law is what
it.
I'm
Okay,
talking about.
okay.
And 4 for 6 3-pointers last night. He's the only white kid in the starting
Oh,
lineup
Jimmy,
for
Jimmy, he known as a shooter. I thought you was talking about the one in the goggles. His name Aiden too, Aiden Lewis, I think. His name Aiden
yeah.
too. I'm talking about
Yeah, I'm talking
goggles.
about Aiden. I'm talking about
Okay,
Aiden. Aiden Law is
okay.
when the kids got to know and have more trust in him.
Somebody else
Once
texted
they,
me. Somebody else texted me and said, "Don't you mean Aiden Law?" And I
yeah,
remember you said,
Aiden
"Yeah."
Law.
But Lewis is the
And
kid.
so once they as a team, I'll put it like this. You remember a couple of years ago, Duncanville High School, when they had uh 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 uh, uh what's my kid from Lando Magic? When the young fella
Black,
that year, yeah,
black.
Anthony Black, AB. Remember that year and they had a young kid, little white kid on the team, Jackson. They used to call him. He was a white kid. His name is Jackson something. Jackson ended up being a walk on at UT, and then that fizzled out. But when his role with Duncanville, Jackson, they looked for him when he got his spots. They knew where he was going to be at, and he was comfortable in that role. And boy, he was expected. Every time it left his hand, people thought it was going to go in because he would be so damn near so wide open. So this is the role because other teams in this region. Now, when you get to state, there's other teams that are a lot taller in 6A. If you get to state, remember it's only one game at state. There's no more state tournament, so it's for all the marbles if you get that far. But my point is, this kid Aiden Law is not quite a Division I prospect right now, but he can play his way in. I can actually see him joining his brother. His brother went to Rio Grande, committed and signed with UT Rio Grande Valley, remember? And then went, and now he's at a subdivision I school. I think it's in Colorado or Oklahoma, one of those states. And I could see, depending on the Nathan Law's success at that school this first semester or the second or the season, it makes it easier to go and get the brother to join them. That means and every parent should kind of want that in a sense, selfishly inside of your parent. I would only imagine because that saves you money, that saves you time. That means you ain't got to go this city to see one kid on Tuesday, go to the other city to see another kid on Friday. You can see them both with one trip, with one plane ticket, with one hotel room, with one rental car fee, and that's and then when then they have each other as roommates probably. So that makes the comfort zone and makes it therapeutic for your kids. It's always good with that. So I can see him join his brother. I can see that with Aiden. That's why I told you last week, Al, this crop of unsigned seniors right now in Houston, and I'm going to make a list of them for you college coaches. I'm gonna make by different guards, forwards, and I'm putting them in alphabetical order for you guys. There's so many of them that 5-10 years ago would be Division I easy, but we understand the portal is here to stay. So I learned that about him. Mike Collins. I learned about Mike Collins is that Mike Collins, there's room for error. Once he he has another curve and another gear that he can go in. And that gear, when you see that gear, it's going to enable him to be able to not only outpower the opponent, not out outmuscle the opponent, not out hustle the opponent, but he will be able to outthink the opponent. And that makes the job easier. If you don't understand what I'm saying right now, guys, here's what that means. That means some of you guys right now got a kid or a nephew. When y'all go to the picnic and you saying in your mind, really in your mind, man, I whoop you. As long as you ain't got to do, as long as we can shoot outside, no layups, You know, you play the game one-on-one, no layups, how you got to go behind the free throw line before you go take it behind. I'll whoop you. Some grown-ups, remember, we challenged 3 kids back about 5 years
I
ago.
challenge
We had
everybody
we,
to shooting contest.
no, we challenged the high school kids. I think it was me,
They
you,
didn't
and
even accept
somebody that was
the
going.
challenge though.
Nobody didn't want none of that. We said we played 3-on-3, and we would have whooped them dudes.
I ain't playing them now though. Right now, I'm too
I
old for
think
this.
TJ Ford would have been was the other guy. I think at the time we had said it was somebody
I
that
was
we
gonna
said
get a
TJ
ball to
Ford.
TJ every time.
And so my point is, that means for you to beat that young talent, you have to outthink that young talent.
Yeah.
When once, if and when Mike Collins can put mind over matter in this basketball equation, he's going to be very scary in regards to that. He's
You know
going
what
to
I
get a
call it, Jimmy? He got to have some more trickery in his game. Got to have more tricks in his bag. He got to understand the flow of the game, the down, distance. I mean, not down, but the time and score. It's just so many integral parts of the game that's playing that position. When he learned how to play, y'all got to understand, a lot of these kids don't know how to play yet. But I totally agree with you. He got another level or two he can go. But if he get there, somebody gonna sneak around and find him something special.
Well, he's going to get certain
Yeah, I'm
players,
talking
guys.
about, yeah.
He's going to get a Division I opportunity this year, unless
But I want him to be able to
something
play.
crazy happens.
I don't want nobody to just get a Division I. I want to go where you can succeed. And if he turned that thing mentally, I'd like to see it because it's gonna be something special to see.
So I learned about him.
Okay.
Also, I learned about Julian Collier.
Collier. That's close enough.
Collier, the dentist.
Yeah.
His length, he's going to attract a non-Division I opportunity to play basketball.
Absolutely.
All the team has to do, like I said, I'm gonna give you a point example. Shadow Creek, both Bryce Jackson, Michael Collins, I mentioned them earlier. They both picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter.
I heard that.
Sit down. So, with 1 minute and 39 seconds to go, I think Mike Collins picked up his second foul. So he had to join Bryce at the bench. So basically from that right up under the 2-minute mark, all the way to the third quarter, those two guys did not touch the court. So that was a prime opportunity for the coach president of Shadow Creek to see how his guys would respond when they needed to respond on the road against an undefeated team, right? So this kid Julian, he proceeds to step right in. You know, third fiddle turned into second fiddle turned into first fiddle. Everybody stepped their fiddles up. He scored 13 points in that second quarter by himself. And that lead also increased to double digits. He was the man of the hour in that second quarter.
And they needed that last one of them.
A couple of them was three-point plays. He got a couple 3-point plays. I mean, and he was in attack mode. He was getting to spots. He was creating. He was challenging the Second Baptist defense. And guess what? I saw that, and he mixed him in with a couple of threes by Aiden Law, and they scored basically all except for maybe 3 points from the team in the entire second quarter. All but 3 points between those two players. That's how.
What made you go to that game?
Well, this is how I think. I say to myself, I know I'm going to see both teams next Wednesday at the Hoops Giving Classic. I have Second Baptist playing San Antonio Wagner. San Antonio Wagner right now, as it stands, they're ranked number 3 in the state.
Okay.
In Class 5A.
Okay.
So I'm going to see Second Baptist then, but there's no telling when I'm going to see Second Baptist play after that. I
Gotcha.
like when you got a kid that's like in the area. He's considered by many as our as the Greater Houston's top point guard right now, and that's Reese Austin. And I'm going to talk about him. I'm waiting to talk about him last in this summary. Where Reese Austin, you want to see him more than once against Division I talent. I'm not concerned about seeing Reese Austin play against the Seven Dwarfs. Now I'll go see him play against John and Jim Doe in the Seven Dwarf, but not against just the Seven Dwarf. That doesn't do me no. That doesn't serve me right for a good eval. So I needed to see Second Baptist against this team. That way, when I see them 1 week later, I can go and I can really have I can have a better sample size of what I think about Second Baptist and or their personnel. Now, back to this game. That second quarter is what gave the separation to make it 42-30 at the half. Third quarter, of course, Bryce Jackson, Mike Collins back in the starting lineup to start the second half. And they continued. They just picked up where they left off. Everybody made some adjustments. However, I'm talking mostly Shadow Creek right now. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about Second Baptist in a second. And by that third quarter was basically ball game. It was basically ball game. That spread went from 42 to 30. It went from 12 out to 24. They doubled the lead in that 8 minute span. And Bryce Jackson scored 12 of his 23 points in that. Mind you, didn't play the second quarter at all. He had 23, 12 in that one quarter. Mike Collins had 6 in the first quarter. He had 6 in the third quarter. That means he was consistent in regard to the offensive output while being on the court, and neither one of them got in any other foul trouble. The fourth quarter, guys, it was just garbage time. It's no sense even talking much about the fourth quarter. But what I
What
will
happened? Why
give,
was this garbage time?
it was 70-46 at the end of the third quarter.
So the
70 to
third
40.
quarter, they just put the knockout punch.
Yeah, it was 70-46. It wasn't going. It's so I only reason I stayed at the game because I was charting the game. I
Right.
was doing it. So
Okay.
that's the only reason I stayed there. I didn't want to have incomplete stats
Oh, I got you.
at
I
the
got
bottom
you.
as far as the field goal attempts, and also that's why I don't do that for every game I go to, because some games I got a feeling if I can get up out of there early, beat the traffic or whatnot in certain scenarios. Now, this 10th grader Reese Austin, he's the son of Rafa Austin, Skip to my Lou. I've seen him. The last time I saw him play was during Rucker on Wood back in the last Sunday, one of the last Sundays of August. So I hadn't seen him in 2 months, and that was basically it's a there's no coaches pretty much. There's no plays to run. That's just open gym, and it's kind of with an organized element to it. Open gym with a referee. Put it like that. I noticed then that Reese had grown an inch or so. I noticed that you could see some of the poise, and you can see him looking. He's when a kid he's what you gonna give him is what he's going to how you gonna act towards him is how he's gonna react to you. He ain't pushing nothing on you. He ain't wasting a whole lot of dribbles. I would normally think that a kid whose dad grew up with N1 mixtape star and an NBA star later, you would be out there trying to show people and prove I got it like my.
But think
He
about
ain't
this,
wasting
Jimmy,
my
what you said. His dad was an N1 player first. When he went to the
N1 star.
NBA, he had to cut out all of that stuff. So he
Yeah,
teaching his son, his son ain't got to miss that step. His son can miss that step. So he
yeah,
teaching his son 3 dribble. This dude got the sweetest handle and can get in traffic, Jimmy. he can play through traffic and whop whop whop. He changed hands every single time, so you can't never get a beat on his dribble. That's what I saw last night. But keep going.
And so, and understand, Reese Austin as a 10th grader, measuring on a 10th grade level,
Okay.
he's very good. They meaning Shadow Creek put 3 to 4 different defenders on him.
Didn't
They
matter.
had Bryce Jackson guarding him on the perimeter,
It didn't matter.
and he didn't fret.
He didn't flinch.
It's I mean, he knows how to get to the free throw line with ease as a 10th grader. I haven't seen a kid. It's only been about 3, 4 years, but I haven't seen a guard get to the free throw line like him since PJ Haggerty.
Yeah.
PJ
Good.
Haggerty
That's a
is
good comp.
what had that ability to control a flow, right, and get his money. See, here's what I think about the free throw line, guys. To me, a trip to the free throw line, there's no more 1-and-ones. It's 2 free throws in Texas. I don't know about your states, but it's 2 free throws in high school now. They have 5 fouls per quarter, and they all reset. I'm thinking it's a nationwide rule because the National Federation of High School, I think, is what implemented that last year. Here's the deal: every trip to the free throw line, the next time you're at a game, I want you to look on your cell phone and hit your timer. And I want you to time it from the time the whistle blows, right, to the foul, and to the time that second shot hits the rim. Watch how many seconds. It's going to be about 40 to 50 seconds is going to go between those 2 shots, between that session. To where, to me, the more a kid get to the free throw line, it's really giving his teammates a 30-second timeout. You're giving them a time to breathe. You're giving them time to catch their breath, catch their legs if they happen to be winded. You're giving yourself a time to catch your composure, and even the shooter know you get your line back. If it ain't on, you can get it on from the free throw line. So that's the thing I like about Reese Austin. He's going to be box office
Absolutely.
in Houston.
Absolutely.
He has a dad that could have moved him away from that school. He stayed the course. He didn't run to the private prep schools. Mind you, they're still chopping at the bit, but you're coached. You're in a setting, guys. You never know Second Baptist. Go look it up. The economics that goes into this school. Go look it up. That environment. That environment. You go to this school. We understand. We're not talking about no kid that ain't been around favorable economics before. So he's
Yeah, he's
he's ate his
suburb.
French
He's a
fries.
suburb kid. He ain't from. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
yeah,
He ate his French fries with a fork before.
yeah,
So we ain't talking about this new to him. But if you can, in a city like Houston, the college coaches know they got to come through this state, this city. Everybody, like I tell you guys, stop worrying so much about about Dallas or DFW and look at the rest of the country. I think somebody sent me the numbers in the Houston. I think we got 16 kids that have signed Division I scholarships, right, from out of Greater Houston, the seniors. 16, which is the norm now, but that's a number that's really low compared to years back. But 16 out of Greater Houston, the entire state of Illinois don't even have 12. The entire state of Illinois. So how you think Chicago feel? They got more people than Houston. They got Nike's got a headquarters in Chicago. They got offices, corporate offices for Nike for marketing is in Chicago. That's why you see so much stuff all the time. Because and I, not against it, but think about how they feel. Where all they players at? Houston is past the entire state of Illinois, and you're worried about Dallas. Houston is past most cities in the country. This kid stays here in Houston. He's still going to be great wherever he goes, but you can sleep in your own bed. I know fathers dream of that last day of school, taking your kid to, dropping them out, going through all of them. You get and you feel as a father probably had a little greater, the longer your kid can stay up under your roof, you think the more you can protect him.
Yep.
So that's how I feel in regards to Reese Austin. It's gonna be special.
Oh, coach, I saw him. I just watched him, and I said, "Oh my!" See, every time I see him, he just get better. That's. I keep telling people that's how I look at the game. I just look at the game different. Every time he do something that make me say, "Wait a minute." When I saw him little butt last year, he wasn't doing this. He ain't running up in there and all that traffic, man. He know, Jimmy. He know if it's cloudy in there, he ain't finna go in there. He gonna wait till it's a sunny day. I'll make a position. So that's what I like about him, man. He's a point guard supreme. Can score it, can shoot it, can free throw, and don't let nobody get him out off his game. So I mean, we gonna have a person that we finna start filling up their gym, because if y'all don't, somebody else gonna fill it up in the plate. They're gonna start filling up at the gym. People gonna start coming from around to see that boy play. You remember I told y'all that. But Jimmy, I got to get out of here, man.
Yeah, we got to get up out of here, and I feel good about this young crop, the class of 2027, and the class of 2028.
Okay.
I'm digging that class. I'm digging them. I was sophomores, man. We look up. Remember, we talked about it at the season opening. We had one kid scored 33 from Cinco Ranch.
Bynum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bynum.
Okay.
And he wasn't the only one. We had a couple of 10th graders that showed up and showed out. And then every other game, you see another 10th grader popping up. But I'm gonna tell you something. I mentioned Reese, and this one kid, Will Gooseby, he was number 30. He's their shooter. He, alongside Reese Austin, in 2 years. In 2 years.
That's the white kid.
Yeah, he's not little though.
I know he's about 6'6", 5 or 6. He can play.
He's about 6'3", 6'4". They're going to be the best backcourt in the state without question.
On film, he looked, because he was rebounding. So on film, he looked a little bit
better. They're going to be the best backcourt in the state. Best backcourt in the state.
You talking about private school? In
the entire state. Okay. They're going to be the best backcourt in the state.
Okay, I like that.
That backcourt, fire and ice, I'm telling you. Because when you got a guy and they playing together, and the team plays 4 sophomores in the rotation.
Oh, okay.
4.
Okay.
4 sophomores.
Okay.
And one of the reasons, one of the reasons the spread was so large, they gave up after it got up to.
Yeah, 20. And young players tend to do that.
Well, they have a player, Shea Francis, who transferred from Stratford High School. He's ultra athletic, power guard. They can get a guy that has some good hops on him. He did not have a good game at all. And every Batman needs a Robin.
Gotcha.
And he did not have a good game. In other words, that was an opportunity for him. He gets some good film. I say when you play teams with multiple Division I prospects, that's good film.
Yeah.
He don't want his film.
He don't want that film. I got some.
So that's it.
Tomorrow,
that's it, guys.
Tomorrow, I got some stuff that I picked up that I want to share with y'all tomorrow. So make sure you're on the show early tomorrow. But I got to get out of here, man. They're waiting on me. I'll see y'all on tomorrow. All right? I'm out.
Be up out of here.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, we live.